Good evening, friends. Jai Hind. I'm Major Mohammed Ali Shah, and I have the honor of being in conversation with a very, very illustrious former Air Force officer actually who has given his services to the nation, to the motherland, selflessly, completely. Yes, I'm talking about Group Captain B.N. Sharma, sir, who has done his engineering from Jabalpur. He was a technical officer in the Indian Air Force, and he will tell us what, according to him, could be the way forward to bring peace in a beautiful state like Manipur with beautiful people. Sir, Jai Hind, sir, and thank you very much for taking our time, sir.
Jai Hind, Major Shah, and the namaskar to all the viewers of your channel. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. And absolutely, the question you have asked is the most important question in today's scenario about the Manipur. Nobody has asked these questions. I have seen many TV channels and YouTube channels, but nobody has asked this question so far. And I'm very grateful to you for thinking such a long term about the Manipur and India as a good India as a nation. So firstly, we need to disarm all the arms groups, let it be Meitei community or let it be Kuki community, because with arms you cannot bring peace. The same thing our Prime Minister and our External Minister, the Government of India, many officials keep saying that if you want to bring peace with Pakistan, that they have to stop training the terrorists and they should stop giving training to the terror groups. Similarly, though it is an internal matter, it is equally important that when you have armed groups, let it be of any groups, it cannot bring peace. So firstly, the people who are having arms should be disarmed. So in this, I'll bring two categories. The first, let's say, because most of the media, I keep hearing about the Meitei groups having looted about arms from police station and all those things. Yes, agreed. They would have done it. But they come under the ambit of law, rule and regulation of Indian Constitution. So they can be booked and they can be punished. And the same thing is happening. Operations are conducting at certain places, and if not done at certain areas, that can be done and it can be recovered. Similarly, the Kuki communities also need to be disarmed. And in this, say about more than 100 days of this crisis, we have seen many alarming videos, many from Kuki community, because I have not seen, I don't know if you have if anybody has some videos having a Meitei community with sophisticated weapons and arms roaming around and doing drills or parading, you can let me know. I'm not aware as of now. But however, we have seen many videos of the Kukis, with even in 15 August, we have seen they were parading with heavy sophisticated arms and weapons. So it is very alarming. And also, we have seen the firing from hillside. Even the villagers, like the farmers who are going for regular routine farming, they are not safe. It's very surprised in the independent state of independent India, the farmers are conducting cultivation activities under the escort of security forces like CRPF or BSF or for that matter Assam Rifles. It's very simple. After so many years of independence, we have to guard a farmer. Even then also, there is no security. And at certain places, due to the conflict, the farmers are not allowed to enter into their farmlands or the paddy fields because of the security reasons, as reported in the media and my friends who are in Manipur. So this is very alarming. And also, I am afraid about the way things are going in the national securities. So narco-terrorism is one of the most important aspects. And I would be subsequently talking a little bit about narco-terrorism. And why I am saying is a lot of money is there in narco-terrorism, or rather poppy plantation and the drug cartel groups. So I do not blame the whole Kuki communities. This narco-terrorism, that drug cartel may be from all the communities. It may be Meitei, it may be Kukis, or it may be other communities also. I don't know. It is the duty of the investigation agency and the government of India to crack down this narco-terrorism and bring stable Manipur. So this is one aspect, and I will be focusing on the suspension of operation. So Indian Army is a very credible army in the world. I would say not only in Asia or India, it's very credible force in the world. They have won many wars. Even after independence, we have seen a lot of good works done by the army, and I have no doubt about the Assam Rifles too, because they are led by the officers from Indian Army. The Jawans may be of permanent nature, but however, the leadership of the Indian Army are leading the ARs, that is Assam Rifles. Some strange incidents would have happened, as people have indicated, and I also have spoken in length about this subject. However, they are respected forces. But the problem here is a decision taken by Government of India, Government of Manipur, or partly by Indian Army in 2005, 2008, and the subsequent years. Yes, I'm talking about suspension of operations, or in Manipur, it is known generally as SHU. This terminology I never knew. I just came across this terminology after, say, about 15 or 16 May. So the reports of incidents.
This year,
yeah,
just 3 months back.
Yeah, just 3 months back. I never knew that there is an agreement called suspension of operation. So May, about 15 May, I came to know, somebody told me just SHU should be removed. Oh, I asked, what is SHU? Then he told me, you don't know about SHU? I don't know. If people like me, experienced 26 years of service in defense, did not know about the SHU. So I'm sure a lot of people also would not be knowing in the mainland. However, some of the educated lot or well-read people in Manipur are aware, and through them I came to know, and I was happy to get a copy of that agreement, and I read, and it was very astonished for me and a shock in my life. The intention of the army would be, or I would say, intention of the army must be very good at that time, because Northeast is such a terrain you already served, so you know better. The terrains are very hostile for Indian Army or any security forces to operate. If you compare any attack from any insurgency groups, so that time they would have thought, the Indian Army in particular, if we have some arrangement of not firing to each other, it will be good for the Indian Army. And also they would have thought, if we take, there's many factions of insurgencies, the Kukis, the Nagas, Meiteis, even in the Meiteis, so many insurgency groups are there. You are aware more than me. And the Kukis, there are more than 30 insurgencies or militants groups. So out of that, Indian Army have chosen about 25 strong or influential group, and they have undergone an agreement called suspension of operations in 2005. And at that time, Indian Army, I would not say Indian Army, because I said it's a very reputed organization. So the Indian Army cannot have a short-term thinking. But the leaders or corps commanders or the area commanders at that time would have felt the short-term gain would be a necessity at that time. So they would have told, if the Kuki militant groups are at the Indian armies or at security forces side, then the other insurgency group, like Meitei insurgency group, which are already declared under UAPA 1967 unlawful, or they are banned by the MHA. And everybody can see it. It's banned from right from 2001, because I read MHA annual report from 2001 onwards, because before that it was in Hindi, so I was not very comfortable reading. So 2001 to 3, though it is Hindi, I read fully relevant parts of the Manipur, and 2003 onwards it's in English, so everybody can read it aram se. So in there, I found that the Meitei insurgency groups, 7 or 8 of them are banned under the UAPA. However, none of the Kuki militant groups are not banned. In spite of that, the Indian Army had gone ahead with the agreement called suspension of operation in 2005, thinking that the casualty of the security forces would be reduced. And it's very logical as a short-term gain for the Indian Army. And they went ahead with this plan, and to my astonishment, the number of security forces killed from 2001 to 2004 was 143. However, from 2005 to 2008, the number of security personnel killed by the extremists or insurgency group is 133. So there is a reduction of 10 security personnel's life, though 10 is also very high in my opinion. I am not justifying 10 is less or more, something like that. They are highly trained. They are national assets. They should not die at all. However, if you see as a statistics, this 10 is very less compared to the compromise done with a group of militant groups, because these have become very potential powerful as of now. That time they would not have been very powerful, and with their help, the Meitei insurgency groups have been more or less eliminated, not totally, but almost. Because I am seeing the numbers from 2005 to 2021, 2005 to 2008 is 3,944 as per MHA report, and 2009 to 2021 is 701. So after the signing of the Sioux agreement by Indian Army in 2005 and the India government and the Manipur government on board in this agreement in 2008, the number has gone very high. So I would say rather many Meitei insurgency groups have been killed, and the arrests also close to around 15,000. So arrests and kill mostly cross more than 20,000. So in my opinion, the main objective of Sioux agreement was achieved in 2000, say, let's say 8 May itna ho gaya, to 2009 or 10 it had achieved. So army would have suggested, but somehow they did not do, and
2008 we
they would have.
2008 we signed it.
Come
I
again?
was in Assam at the time. 2008 we
Uh,
signed it, sir.
I have a copy of it. It says the first line of the Sioux agreement is the Indian Army had an agreement with Sioux militant 25 Sioux militant groups in 2005, and it is. I'll read out the exact sentence. I'll just give me a sense. Okay, this, and it says the government of Manipur and India government also agreed to come into this agreement. I'll send across the copy of it. Okay, so officially it is 2009, you are right, but unofficially army was with this agreement in 2005. Nonetheless, idea is Sioux agreement was done, and the Meitei have been mostly Meitei insurgents have been eliminated, or rather most of them have been killed. So objective has been fulfilled. So if we take 2000 as a government official this thing, that by 2010 or 12 they could have done away, because why I am saying is the number of incidents or number of security forces killed haven't reduced drastically. So it was in terms of the three figures per year. Now after say 2011 and all is 28, 25, 23. It has become very less, from three figures to two figures. So nonetheless, government continue, Manipur government also continue. Even I am not saying only the security forces. This includes Manipur police also. Major chunk of the killing most probably was done by the Manipur police. Rather, army and Assam Rifle would have done the operations 50%, and the 50% of the operations would have done by the Manipur police. The Meitei insurgency were wiped out, or they were driven out to Myanmar. Some of those who were survived, they were driven out to Myanmar. And Indian Army is such a reputed this thing. They can go to this thing across the border. In Pakistan, we have seen in cross-border this thing attacks, and also one of the.
There for you, sir. The comment is somebody has commented. Someone of the viewers who's watching, Cap Gamer has commented, Sioux groups do not attack Indian SF security forces, perhaps is his meaning. Whereas
Hey, it's right.
Pardon, sir?
He's right, absolutely right. I agree with them. I agree with Sioux groups never attack because they have an agreement not to shoot at each other. So they will never fire. Why they should fire? And also the Sioux groups, the Sioux agreement also says that the environmental security of the Sioux camps are to be provided by the security forces. So they are basically, the security forces are guarding the Sioux militant groups. So why they will fire? And also that's the reason. So the only adversary for the security forces is the Meitei insurgencies, and they are subjected to the laws of the country, like UAPA, the Arms Act, the Arms Rule, whatever rules we have existing in India. The Meitei insurgency come under this ambit. However, Sioux groups, they have a special privilege. They do not come under any of the laws which I have mentioned. So in fact, it is a violation of Article 14 of Indian Constitution, where one of the community is treated separately, violating the equality before the law, which is under Article 14. And also, I would in this here, since the gentleman has brought out, the SU agreement is also illegal, so and immoral, because why I'm saying it's a tri-party contract. The involved parties are the Manipur government, the government of India, and the army. On behalf of the government of India, army is there, and the Sioux militant groups. It's a tri-party agreement. And as per Indian Contract Act 1872, if an agreement is to be there in India, the legal bindings of all the rules and regulations are compulsory. Like they say, the objective and the objective of this thing agreement should be legal. It says Section 24 of the Indian Agreement, Indian Contract Act 1872. You can refer after seeing this. So they violate. Object and the consideration has to be lawful. Whereas having arms, that to military graded arms, is illegal in India. Until unless you are a military personnel, that too not in your own possession. If you are serving in the military or in the special forces, then only you are allowed to have those weapons. However, the government of India, under this agreement, and the government of Manipur have agreed the Sioux groups to have this arms. So it is illegal in my opinion, and also immoral, because the Sioux groups, they are directly or indirectly involved. They may not be firing directly. If they are firing, that is also immoral and illegal. And if they are training the other youngsters, that is also illegal and is a violation of Sioux agreement. So it is immoral as well as illegal agreement. So what happened is, with this agreement, the Sioux militants becomes very more powerful, and the army and Assam Rifle also cannot do anything, because they are bound with this agreement. In the agreement, it is written that they should not fire each other. So as long as Kuki arms group, or say I will not say Kuki group, Sioux militant groups, they are not firing the army or Assam Rifle, they will not fire, because as per the agreement. So whatever they are doing, they have to keep seeing, and that's exactly happening in the present scenario. That's why people are very worried about this Sioux, and without abrogation of Sioux, disarming of Kuki Sioux groups cannot be done. So it is the moral obligation of the government of India is Sioux has to be abrogated, and all the communities in India should be brought under the Article 14 of Indian Constitution, that is equality before the law. And also I would like to say that these Sioux groups, as per my information, they are part of the narco-terrorism, because narco-terrorism is a big business. In the estimated business is around 50,000 to 60,000 crore per annum. And the amount of hill areas they have deforested and done poppy plantation is more than 1,25,000 acres. And out of this 1,25,000 acres of poppy cultivation, around 1 lakh acre have been in the Kuki dominated area. I am not saying that only the Kuki community is doing the poppy plantation, other communities are also doing, because 25,000 acre is not in the Kuki dominated area, so I am sure other communities are also doing. But however, the Kuki plantation by deforesting is a very bad impact in our environment as well as to the society of the Manipur. So the villagers or poor villagers and some of the illegal immigrants, we all know it's happening. A letter written by IGR South on 23rd July to the Deputy Secretary of Manipur states that on some 18 or the 718 insurgency, illegal infiltration had happened. So that was a reporting we have seen in the media. So since IGR South has reported, so this would have been happening, and the Meiteis, especially the Meitei communities and other communities, are reporting these illegal immigrants into the Manipur. So this they become a cheap labor. So for the drug lords, I am saying drug lords, I am not pointing out to any community. So it becomes a very cheap labor for those illegal immigrants to pay a small amount of wages and employ into this poppy cultivation. And I believe there are some videos available in YouTube and Facebook where some villagers, some common people saying that the poppy cultivation is more profitable than any other source of any other farming. So I believe 1 acre of this thing poppy yields around 60 to 80,000, and that gives around half a kg or a kg of the product. So it is very easy to transport, and this can such an yield can never be achieved by any type of crop. And also the similar amount of revenue is to be generated by doing a normal cultivation. Then they would require a lot of logistic to transport to get for the same amount. So it becomes very attractive for the cultivators also, and for the drug lords it's easy, and they earn a lot of money. And this is illegal in India. The poppy plantation and drug manufacturing is illegal in India, and some cookie says that is done by the Meitei's factories are in Imphal and all. That may be correct. I don't know. But even if it is the extraction is done by the Meitei, I also condemn that, and they also should be booked. So ultimately, my point is the poppy cultivation is illegal in India, and these drug lords need a private party to protect this from state forces or other forces, other any forces which they would be stopping in doing this poppy cultivation. So they require a private army. So the Sioux militant groups, as per the information available to me, becomes one of the this thing easily available private army. And drugs has got a lot of money, so the weapons are available easily through porous border of Myanmar. They become very powerful, and the drug business has become a major source of earning. 60 to 80,000 crore a year is a heavy amount, and we all know that the golden triangle, the drug pattern has been shifted. In Myanmar, the cocaine and whatever bronze, heroin, they are not manufactured right now. I think the demand of the drug there is, I think, Yava. They call Yava, or in Manipur, people say it WI. World is yours. So drug pattern, the cocaine and the heroines are no more manufactured in that golden triangle. So the Manipur has become the major manufacturing hub and a major this thing peddling station for this all narco-terrorism. So one of the major problem contributing to this class is narco-terrorism. And also there is an angle. Everybody knows that Thangling Pao, who has been MP in Myanmar in sometime in 1990, he is in Churchandpur and heading a JETRO, Zombie Reunification Organization, or JETRA. That's what people say. He is leading an organization, and he is also part of this all this creating in problem. So they have drugs for money, they have arms, so they want to control this area. So look, his policy is coming up. Everybody knows it. So if they can control these areas, then it will be a very major revenue generation for these drug lords and the cookie subgroups. And also, say you must be knowing this thing, Jalengam or Cookie Land formation is also underlying current. During the Serau, this thing, one of the this thing diary found by the security forces of Meitei, certain their plan has been written, and I believe their plan is to form a separate country, taking some part of Myanmar, that is Chinkuki area, the Sangao, and Manipur, Mizoram, and the Chittagong hill tracts. This is a long-term plan, and they want to have a cookie land, which is very dangerous for our national security. And the India government and the Manipur government needs to look into these aspects very seriously. And the Sioux groups are required to be disarmed. Once they are disarmed, and Meitei disarming is not a problem. As such, they don't have much of this thing coordination. And also, only few people who ran away to Myanmar would have come back, and they would have got some sympathy or support from the Meiteis during this time of crisis, because in initial days of the crisis, when the people are crying that Assam Rifle in the front row, Assam Rifles, the Kuki communities are burning their houses. No police, no Manipur police, no Assam Rifle, no army are helping. So they were crying, and they could the insurgency group would have gained some sympathy during this time, and they would be doing some of the illegal what is activities attacking the armed forces. I never hear any mighty insurgencies attacking the security forces during this crisis. Only I heard is the clashes between the Kuki Sioux groups or Kuki village volunteers and the maybe they call mighty village defense forces. So I don't know exactly they are insurgency or they are village defense group. Kuki also says it's a village defense group. Meitei also says it's a village defense group. But both the case, they are lethal, they are very dangerous. And you would have seen in videos and many TV news channels, in the fields, the leopard bombs are fired, the the 51 mortars have been fired, and some of the unexploded bombs and the mortars and the leopard bombs are recovered, which are lying in the paddy fields paddy fields, which is very unfortunate. So, in my opinion, overall, to have a peace, we require to disarm all the communities. So, Sioux must be abrogated. Without abrogation of the Sioux, the Kuki Sioux groups cannot be disarmed. And by abrogating Sioux, the confidence in Meitei will be improved. And I'm sure Meitei, the arms looted by the Meiteis due to this problem would be returned. And the Manipur police and security forces are they are capable enough to track down the militants and insurgencies. So even the combing operations can be done without ASFA, with the district magistrate on board. Even the valleys, the arms can be recovered without any problem. No Meiteis, even the Mera Paive, so-called people have blamed the Indian Army and Assam Rifle. They have shown Mera Paive siding the insurgencies, which is not correct. But nobody supports insurgency in Manipur. When the peak of the insurgencies, no public support is there, because they also trouble the Meitei communities when they have the arms. So nobody supports. In this crisis, they say they feel little secure when nobody is helping. At least they are helping. That is the perception in the common Meitei's mind. So, and also one of the most important factor is Indian Army and the Assam Rifles need to build confidence building measures. Like the Assam Rifles are very popular and they have full confidence by the Kuki. So some actions or some gestures need to be shown by the Assam Rifles and Indian Army, in spite of tweeting and showing in a negative way, or releasing a video demystifying the Manipuris and all those things. Those are, in my opinion, some sort of information warfare against the Meitei community, which is not taken very positively in the Meitei community. Even I said in one of the interview that even we have never engaged such type of information warfare against Pakistan, whereas we would be doing more oftenly with the Pakistan. So these are my opinion. And to restore peace, firstly, we have to abrogate Sioux, and Meitei are also to be disarmed. And the Meitei disarm is not a problem because they all come under the ambit of the Indian law. Whereas Kuki militant groups, they are exempted, or they have the special privilege of exemption from UAPA 1967, the Arms Act 1959, and the Arms Rule 2016. This is what I have to say.
Right, you gave some very, very good points, and I was listening patiently. I would like to just ask your view on, on 15th August, when we saw the video of the Kuki, they were marching with the guns, and I was very surprised, in fact. And just a day before that, I interviewed Ginza, the official spokesperson of the indigenous tribal of the Kukis, the ITLF. So indigenous tribal forum, So he had mentioned about another different interview, and then I saw another interview of his where he mentioned that those guns were artificial guns. They were of plastic and they were of wood, and you can check with the Assam Rifles. So that's what he had mentioned in the interview. But irrespective of that, I still, my view has been very, very clear that, still, whether it's plastic or it's real, what's the point of displaying guns and arms? I don't think it really serves any. Okay, so thank you, sir. I just want to know your view on that, sir. I mean, what do you think? about that?
Yeah, it is absolutely what you think is absolutely correct. Even though it may be a toy gun or made of wooden, it's a show of the might. Why do we parade with our military might in 26 January? It is showing the world that we have this power. And you are being in the army, I'm in Air Force. We know that whatever we display in the parade is also a dummy one. They are not live. Even the missiles and all those, they are for display purpose. Even the drills arms, they are you know it, we call DP rifles. They are not actual rifles. So it's immaterial whether it's a dummy or it's a fake or it's a wooden mech or it's a this thing. You are showing the might, and you have it. So these are very alarming. And also, I would like to bring to your notice, during the March past, they have defamed the national flag. National flag is never to be pulled down in front of anybody. They stand upright. So I don't know why they have done it. They are very educated, well educated. The Kuki communities hold very good high office position in most of the places. Even then, such type of gestures, putting down the national flag, is not acceptable, and the government of India should take suo moto action about this.
So, I have very, very dear friends who are Maitis. I have very, very dear friends who are Cookies, and I have very, very dear friends who are Nagas as well. And I generally am wanting peace to happen. But what is your take on the large scale? You were on a channel, we'll not name it, sometime back, and I heard your views. What is your views on the large scale Indian media by, say, on the whole? Do you think they're helping with the problem, or you think it's by either keeping quiet or projecting it in the way they are projecting, or it's making matters worse?
Yeah, the Indian media, in my perception, they are adding fuel to the fire, and they don't know the ground realities. Some of the YouTube channels, I have seen them going to the ground and the reporting right from the beginning of the crisis. However, the main medias, they are just showing whatever TRP, what TRP they would get. So it's based on the popularities and not related to the facts. Even I was talking in one of the channel before this, and the one of the speakers said he saw in Twitter, he heard in this newspaper, whereas we know the ground reality. The ground reality is quite different, and the situation in Imphal is not as bad as they are reporting. And so many cookie villages are there, still protected by the security forces. And many people, the Meitei community have guarded the cookies from attacking by the Meiteis. They have been safely escorted to the relief camp if required, and a lot of protections are given. However, in the media, you will find that the victims are only the cookies. And the Meitei have been totally driven out from Chuksanpur, Kangpokpi, and More. There is no Meiteis. I respect their demand of separate administration, say either a territory or a state. That is up to the India government to grant or not. But however, in that pretext, killing of the people and troubling the other community is incorrect. And how they can have a state or some province without minus one community? If we want to grow together in a state, or if we want to progress India, then we have to have a metropolitan culture. So it gives a doubt of formation of Kuki land when they drive out the Meitei community, especially even from the Mizoram. The mass exodus happened. All the Meiteis have been driven out from there before any incident happened. So this have the doubt in my mind that they not going for a separate country. This is the first part, demanding a separate administration, and later on they will definitely they would go for separate Kuki land, independent of India. That is in my mind, and it is troubling more because see, you have seen many states. All the states have a combination of all the communities. Even I am in Delhi, NCR, Mumbai, everywhere. It's a combination of the all the communities. So how can being in Delhi, how can I say that Marwari should not be there, or how can I say Bihari should not be there? And it's a metropolitan culture which gives progress to the any state or any country. So it is very sad to know that the Kuki community is demanding a separate state or separate administration without the Meitei community. And basically, they want to dominate the area of the northeast section, that is Tamelong, Churchanpur, and Kangpokpi area. which is a main corridor of the this Asian countries. So it is very bad. India government should take very seriously, because the western side and Pakistan has already blocked the road, and in the east side, if they form a Kukilan or Zilanga and they block this our east, the Asian countries will block. So our business and commerce activities will be hampered by this movement. And seeing their activities and their slogan, I feel very alarmed that it should be controlled. And as you said again, my sincere opinion is that they should be disarmed. Kuki militants or Sioux groups should be disarmed by abrogating Sioux, and once it is disarmed, then the army can take their own course of action based on their operational requirement. It is applicable to the Meitei insurgencies or armed groups also, if at all they are troubling.
Right, sir. So could you just tell us the difference between, like in Nagaland, they ceasefire in Nagaland with the NSC and IM and NSC and K groups. There's a ceasefire there. And the suspension of operations with the Kuki groups of official agreement signed on 2008 officially. And though there were talks before that itself. So what's the difference between the Sioux and the ceasefire?
I don't know about the ceasefire much, because I only heard in the news, and I read here and there from Wikipedia and Google's. I don't have the copy of the agreement, so I will not be able to comment it. However, in Sioux agreement, I have read the document. That's why I am able to comment. And as per the Sioux agreement, the Kukis are not supposed to block the national highways. They are not supposed to exploit where the Tamil and the Bengalis and the Biharis have been demanded extortion money in More and all. So these are the differences. And even if, in my opinion, the ceasefire term should not be used by the Indian government or Indian army, it amounts to tacitly agreed to an independent country. As you know, in the military, ceasefire is between the two countries. So this terminology should not be used by any agencies, in my opinion. I would not be able to comment since I have not read their agreement on paper.
Right, sir. So we spoke about the mainstream media. We spoke about the information warfare that's going on, in fact. And you're right, in fact. You're 100% right. That kind of information warfare about India and Pakistan. Also, sir, itna bura hal ne humne itni nafrat ka humne kahin pe bhi social media from both the sides. I mean, it's very sad to see both communities becoming. I'm sure you must be having a lot of cookie friends as well. But I'm sure, and the discomfort जो आज की तारीख में है between Meitei and a cookie, जो पहले दोस्ती थी, वो मुझे मालूम है, sir. I am well aware. I have been speaking to both the communities very, very closely every day. In fact, that's all that I do now, in fact. So I personally feel, sir, it will be wrong to call any community names to brand them by the same brush. Like, for example, like abhi jo parading, unfortunately, very, very sad incident, and it was really, really sad. The media also played it much. In fact, it was very, very sad. It was really, really. So I feel it will be wrong to call a lot of people saying, "Oh, Meitei rape is wrong." It's wrong. You can't do that. And similarly, among, like, when you also spoke about the narco-terrorism, about cookies ko log bolte hain poppy cultivator and illegal immigrant and such thing, whatever. So and no one has the right to take law in their hands. Ultimately, the government, the law of the land, would decide kya hai, kya nahi hona hai. And do you agree with me on this or not, sir?
Yeah, absolutely right. We have no right to paint a community with a certain bad name. Like similarly, the viral video which we are talking about, the victim herself has said in one of the interview, and I think it is in the Wire newspaper, print media, that they were not raped. However, media continue saying they have been gang raped. So these are some of the bias, or I would say bias or TRP, this thing stunt, which is causing more bad in the present scenario. In spite of solving the problem, just to have more viewers and to earn few bucks, they are spreading wrong information, which is very bad. I am fully in agreement with you. And as I said, in narco-terrorism, there may be Meitei, there may be Kuki, there may be other communities. So the rules should be equally for everyone.
It's a very well said, Bhai. That's a very, very mature, very balanced, a very sensible statement that you have made. Sir, all the media ka aapko bata hu, media ka maza on the lighter side, and it really happens. Many channels, I'll not name them, they will get people, they will get, sir, you are from the Air Force officer, with all respect to the service of, sir, you're the first Air Force officer I have seen on television, or who I'm speaking to, on Manipur issue. ठीक है, मतलब पहले और भी देखे हैं, मगर मैं ऐसे लोग देखे हैं जो कभी मणिपुर गए ही नहीं खैर से। क्यों?
Very right,
क्योंकि
very right.
क्योंकि सर एयरफोर्स का तो रोल नहीं है मणिपुर में, नेवी का तो
True,
रोल नहीं
true,
है
very.
मणिपुर में।
Uh,
तो मैंने चैनल्स के चीफ एडिटर को भी लिखा है, जब मैंने देखा कि वेरी सीनियर ऑफिसर्स, वेरी गुड विद ऑल रिस्पेक्ट टू द नॉलेज एंड एक्सपीरियंस, अनमैच्ड, नो डाउट अबाउट दैट, but I have explained to them that देखो there's BSF, there's CRPF, there's Assam Rifle, there's Army in Manipur, वहां पे नेवी नहीं है भैया, वहां पे एयरफोर्स
true,
नहीं
very
है भैया।
true.
These guys don't know, उनको डिफेंस एनालिस्ट कोई ला रहे हैं तो they will get somebody from, actually maybe I don't know whether it's intentional or उनको समझ नहीं है। Like the other day आपके साथ भी हुआ है, we shared this very crazy anecdote where somebody was arguing with me that Manipur is in Guwahati.
Yeah,
How
yeah, it's a very funny thing.
दूसरा होता है सर,
Uh,
one was angry।
mm.
सर ये बताइए।
So, so my request to all the media would be, please do not go for a TRP in this present situation, because it will lead to a breaking of India. They are not taking it very seriously. They are taking it very lightly, and it should be taken very seriously, because enemies would be eyeing for breaking of India, and they would be liking to break this part so that India do not have the access to Asian countries. As we have a very big plan for reaching up to Thailand, Singapore by road, which would be initiating in near future. So this project will not take off if this type of movements are supported. So it should be taken very seriously, and all, irrespective of all, any communities, all armed group must be disarmed and should be deal with the present existing laws and regulations, and no exemptions should be given to any of the communities. This is my opinion. Once arms are down, the peace process will start, as we keep saying to the Pakistan.
Absolutely, sir. Sir, thank you so much for taking your time. It's been such a delight and a pleasure being in conversation with you, and you gave out such very wise, sensible, mature points. आपने आपकी बात वाकई में सुननी चाहिए सबको, and that is the ethos of the forge. We are from the same breed. हम लोग जब अकेडमी में ट्रेनिंग करते हैं, हम ये नहीं देखते कि हमारा मजहब, हमारा रिलीजन, हमारा रीजन, हमारा क्या है। हम we know only one religion. That's the India. That's India. That's Indian
Yeah,
Armed
Indian.
Force.
We are Indian. Yes, we are
Yes, sir.
Indian.
Thank you very much,
Thank you
sir.
very
Sir,
much. Thank you for
and
having
sir,
me.
अरे सर मेरे को बहुत मजा आता है whenever I speak to anybody from the East India, बल्कि जो लोग कहते हैं नॉर्थ ईस्ट, मुझे समझ में नहीं आता नॉर्थ ईस्ट क्यों बोलते हैं, तो ईस्ट इंडिया बोलना चाहिए ना।
Yeah, it's part. Yeah.
तो वो बात मुझे समझ में नहीं। And you also know the story of, do you know the story of the two chai cups that I had, sir? The second best tea and the best tea in the world.
The best is with NSC, and the second best is in one of the villages in Manipur. That was amazing. But that is a type of hospitality people have, the simple thinking. But they are too good, yeah. And even the same is with the other communities also. All communities are good. This divide has been created by few politicians and power-monger people who are eyeing for money and power. So people should understand.
So what sensible views, what sensible views. I really thank you, sir, for putting forward your views. And मजा आ गया आपसे बात करके। मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ ये people from the east of India, जिनको लोग नॉर्थ ईस्ट कहते हैं, सब नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया का या तो कहेंगे या तो ईस्ट इंडिया का कहना चाहिए, people from there are very cultured, very responsible, they are well behaved, they are very they are culturally very rich, sir. We have the best sportsmen from, in fact, Manipur से आप देखिए मीराबाई चानू देखिए, मई कॉम देखिए, आप you name it, from different tribes, different communities, वहां से हैं, intellectuals हैं वहां से, रतन थे हम, I know him personally. We had a long chat, and he's from NSD. So we have a lot of intellect. आपको देखिए, we have a lot of intellectuals from Manipur. In fact, we must respect them and honor them. And we have neglected the east of India for a very, very long time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about time.
Absolutely right.
It's about time we should also wake up. We should all, because I believe the society will not change unless and until we change our own selves. And the best people, my best friends, the most beautiful place in the world. आप लोग स्विट्जरलैंड जाते हैं ना हॉलिडे करने के लिए, भाई आप एक बार मणिपुर जाके आइए, मणिपुर जाके आइए, लोकतक लेक में जाइए आप, फ्लोटिंग आइलैंड्स, Anyway, sir, it was great. I can just go on talking about Manipur. I love that place so much. That's why I keep saying I Nanganungshi Manipur, sir. I Nanganungshi, sir.
ay Manipur na nang gusto nung si. Thank you very
Sir.
much. Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you very much, sir.
So
It was
nice.
a pleasure seeing you, sir. Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind.